Over the past couple weeks, Nebraska recruiting has been catching fire, building connections with some of the top high school players in America. So in today's video, I'm going to give you an updated Husker recruiting big board, the top 10 prospects that Nebraska is going after. We're going to talk about the latest in all these guys' recruitments, what's going on with Nebraska, what other schools are in the mix, will they commit to the Big Red, and everything else you need to know. So really quick, top 10 big board. This is a jam-packed video. Hey, if you're having a good day, I know I am, hit that like button. Also, if you're a diehard Nebraska fan, you're unsubscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for recruiting updates just like this, practice updates, daily Husker football content, breaking news. Join the best family here in Husker YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. You will be thanking yourself that you did. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it, going over the top 10 prospects that Nebraska is going after in the class of 2026. Now, I made a big board about 3 months ago on the channel, and ever since I released that video, a lot of things have changed. A lot of prospects have went off the board. Some new ones have gained traction for the Huskers. So this is a completely new list, a lot of new names that you are going to need to watch over the next couple months. And it also should be noted, all 10 of these players, Nebraska has a real chance at landing. I'm not going to throw on, a 5-star recruit that Nebraska's offered that they have 0% chance at getting. All these guys, Nebraska have a real shot at landing and getting them to commit. So with that being said, let's start it off with the 10th player on my big board, go 10-1. And this is a great player to say the least, Jabari Brady, 5-star receiver, according to Rivals.com, high 4-star on 24/7. Coming out of Florida, 6'2", 100 or 205 pounds. Man, Jabari Brady is a special prospect. He's incredibly physical in the passing game. He can go up and get jump balls, similar to a Cortez Mills who came out of Florida in last year's class. Really solid route running, can make plays after the catch. Good, not great speed, but his production speaks volumes. So there's a reason why he's one of the most coveted receivers in the country. Now, as of right now in Jabari Brady's process, I'd say Ohio State is the favorite to land him. Oklahoma's in there, Florida State, a couple other notable schools. But it should be noted, he visited Nebraska recently for Elite Junior Day. He said he had a great time, that he's looking to set up another visit this summer for an official. So if that can happen, Nebraska has a real shot at landing him. To kill Shorts, in a short amount of time, he has went to work going after some of the best wide receiver recruits in America. I think he can get this done, but we got to continue to pursue him regularly. But you want a jump ball receiver, you want a guy who has NFL aspirations, you want a potential 5-star. That's what we get here with Jabari Brady. That's a good way to get this list started at number 10. So let's go to number 9 next. And this is going to be a current Georgia commit who has announced that he will be taking an official visit to Nebraska this summer. This is Jontavius Wyman. So I recently dove into his film, and I really liked what I saw. Again, he's about 5'11", 170 pounds, very shifty. He can play out wide receiver. He can play DB. He can play boundary corner, nickel, safety, pretty much all over the defense. So he's a Swiss Army knife in that regard, but he can't teach speed. Really, his ball skills are phenomenal as well. There's a reason why he's committed to Georgia. Nebraska, once again, real chance at landing him because he's coming on an official visit. Now, Miami's also in this process. Georgia, of course, he's still committed there, right? So Georgia is the odds-on favorite to actually get him to sign. But there's a lot of good offers here for Jontavius Wyman. Addison Williams trying to go to work to flip him, but really like this prospect, Swiss Army knife, guy with some really, really nice traits on the defensive side of the football. So that's number 9. Now, number 8. On the offensive line, this is going to be Kelvin Obot coming out of the great state of Idaho. Now, Kelvin Obot's visited Nebraska a couple of times. He's recently here for Elite Junior Day. He visited late last season, I believe, for the Wisconsin game. Right as of right now, I'd say Nebraska is the odds-on favorite to get him. Now, 6'5", 270 pounds. One thing I like about Kelvin Obot, he's incredibly athletic. A lot of good weight on him. He's, he doesn't have a lot of fat. Sometimes he's, bigger offensive linemen. They got some bad weight. He has all good weight. He's incredibly muscular. So that means he can get on the field quicker when he gets to college. But, he's incredibly fast off the line of scrimmage, a rare trait you see from offensive tackles. I just really like Kelvin Obot as a prospect, man. And I can see a lot of his traits going to the next level. I like him at tackle. He can also kick inside and play guard. Now, again, Nebraska's the favorite here. He will likely visit Nebraska once again this summer for an official visit. I'd watch out for Michigan. I'd watch out for Oregon here. Those are the two schools really I have my eyes on, but Nebraska, I think, right up there with the rest of them. So, Kelvin Obot coming in at number 8. let's go to number 7 for the Big Red. This is probably my favorite player the Huskers are actively pursuing. This is Brian Bonner at the running back spot, listed at 6 foot tall, 185 pounds. Brian Bonner is just kind of a do-it-all guy. Wan'Dale Robinson type, right? You can put him in the backfield. You can put him in the slot. He can catch passes. He can block. He's incredibly elusive. He can take any single rush to the house, right? He runs about a 4.40 40 time. He has a good frame on him, right? So I really like Brian Bonner. In my opinion, he's a third down running back where, he can play the majority of the snaps, but you want him in on that third down because of his ability to catch passes and make plays outside the backfield, along with being a very, very good blocker. So Brian Bonner, he's coming out of California, man. Those boys got some speed and elusiveness on him. He absolutely does. Now, Nebraska, I'd say, is in that top 3. UCLA is also in the mix here heavily for Brian Bonner, but definitely expect him to visit this summer. I think that's going to be announced pretty soon. So I love Brian Bonner as a prospect. Nebraska in the thick of things to land him. He comes in at number 7, arguably my favorite player the Huskers are pursuing. Now to number 6. Ryan Mosley, 4-star receiver coming out of Carrollton, Georgia. You want a big jump ball threat? You want a tall receiver, a physical receiver? Ryan Mosley fits that description. 6'4", high 4-star. A lot of good offers here. And he just announced that he will be visiting Nebraska once again in June. Now, there's South Carolina in here. I believe Georgia's in here, and Texas A&M. Those are the other 3 schools. So he's basically down to 4. Us in 3 SEC squads. But once again, I'm not counting out Dakel Shorts. Dakel Shorts is a great recruiter. We knew what we were getting from Kentucky. He's went to work early on. I want to get a tall weapon for Dylan Raiola. He's only going to be here probably for 1 year with Ryan Mosley, but this is a guy who I expect to get on the field right away. And also, he's not a one-trick pony. He's not just tall, but he can make plays after the catch. He has good body control. He's pretty fast for being as tall as he is. And overall, he's been rising through the recruiting rankings. He was a 3-star a couple months ago. He's now a very high 4-star. We could be talking about this guy being a potential 5-star in a couple months, right? He's been rising up the recruiting rankings. Nebraska will get themselves one heck of a prospect here if they can get it done. But right now, we have good odds here. We have really good odds, but we will see what happens visiting this summer. All right, let's get to the top 5 prospects Nebraska is going after, starting out with number 5. This is Luke Sorensen coming out of Anaheim, California. Now, I recently dove into Luke Sorensen's film because Nebraska recently offered him. He was going to visit Nebraska for Elite Junior Day, push it off, but expect him to potentially visit this summer. I really liked what I saw from Luke Sorensen. 6'4", 230 pounds. He's been playing football for 2 years. He's only been playing tight end for 1 year. When I watched this guy on film, number 1, he was an elite blocker, which is great. But number 2, he can make plays after the catch. Really good athleticism. Great hands, good catch radius. He is a complete tight end. He fits the Big Ten mold. Nebraska's been trying to build this connection in California. This is a big test, and he's been picking up offers left and right. Okay, he picked up an offer from Texas recently. He picked up an offer just the other day from Alabama. Okay, there's some really, really good schools going after him, but I believe Nebraska just made his top 10 or something along those lines. So the Huskers are in the thick of things to get him. See if you can lock down a visit. I love Luke Sorensen, man. This is one of my guys. This is one of those players I'm going to pound the table for because he's a complete tight end. He's big. He's 230. A lot of times these tight ends are, coming on campus and they're 215. They're 210. If you're 230 going into your senior year and you get on campus and you're 240, 245, you're going to play as a true freshman. A lot of tight ends, they have to sit and develop because they're just not big enough. He's big. So I like Luke Sorensen a lot. I'll pound the table for him. Nebraska made his top 10. We'll see if they can lock down a visit. Now going to number 4, Claude Mapuma, another rising guy through the recruiting rankings, high 4-star offensive tackle, 6'7", 310 pounds. He's been picking up some good offers recently, man. Michigan got in this process. Notre Dame got in on this process. And we know how selective Notre Dame is when they offer schools. He got some good offers here. Okay. Miami's here as well. Missouri's here. Oklahoma's here. We're not too far off from Claude Mapuma getting offered by Alabama, by Georgia. I really like this prospect. Nebraska is the odds-on favorite to land him as of right now. He's visited the Huskers multiple times. He was here for the Elite Junior Day. Again, he's just a big kid, very physical in the running game. Honestly, sneaky good technique in the pass pro. Again, you want just a bowling ball? That's what you get here at that right tackle spot. So Claude Mapuma, watch out for him. Nothing's a done deal there because, he's continuing to pick up offers, but very, very high 4-star off and tackle. Gotta put him at number 4. Let's go to the linebacker core for number 3. Another flip target. This is Jordan Campbell. Again, Jordan Campbell, been very high on him for a long time. Top 100 guy. 6'2", 200 pounds. And he's basically Vincent Shavers 2.0, but he's better than Vincent Shavers coming out of high school. Incredibly athletic, great tackler. Again, good frame on him. Pretty good weight for a linebacker. He can make plays in the backfield. He can get to the quarterback. He can rush the passer. He can shed run blocks. He's good in pass coverage, right? So I like Jordan Campbell. He checks almost every single box. Again, been committed to Miami for some time. Should be noted, I believe Vincent Shavers was also committed to Miami. Don't quote me on that, but I believe he was. So if we flip Vincent Shavers from Miami, would not be shocked if we flip Jordan Campbell from Miami as well. But there's some good schools here trying to get this guy to flip. I mean, Florida's in here, Florida State's in here, some regional schools, but Nebraska, I'd say in that top 5, we will get him on campus for a visit this summer. No question about it. Now to the top 2. Let's go back to the running back core. This is the Devin Walker coming in at my number 2 spot. Top 100 running back out of Raymore, Missouri. You want a guy who is blazing fast, a Jahmyr Gibbs type of guy who can take any single rush to the house, who can make plays in the passing game, who can juke a man out of his socks. That's what you get here with Devin Walker. Like, he's a game changer at running back. He's a day one type of guy. Give me a Devin Walker every single day of the week. Now, it looks like it's a 2-horse race right now between Nebraska and Kansas. Kansas, do not sleep on Kansas. I know a lot of Nebraska fans will scoff at that and say, oh, no way we're losing to Kansas in a recruiting battle. Nebraska has lost to Kansas in a recruiting battle multiple times throughout this class. They lost Hunter Higgins to Kansas. They lost J.J. Dunnigan to Kansas, both guys they really wanted. Kansas, for some reason, I don't know if they're throwing money around or something, but they're being very successful. But that's the other school here. Both have lined up official visits this summer. But this guy, just an absolute track star, very fast, has the ability to lower the shoulder, good weight on him. Really like Nebraska in this process. He comes in at number 2. All right, number 1 for the Huskers, coming out of Missouri, in the trenches, on the defensive line, St. Louis kid. This is going to be Titan Davis. I love Titan Davis, man. This is one of my guys in this class. 90th best player, very high 4-star guy, 6'4", 250 pounds. He looks like Chase Young, and he plays like Chase Young. He's a Chase Young clone. Okay, incredibly explosive in the pass rush. Jumps off the line of scrimmage. Incredibly athletic. Good in the running game. He has great size on him. Okay, he's 250. You don't see too many 3 techniques edge rushers who are 250 in high school. Okay, so he's big. He can get to the quarterback at an elite rate. Great traits on him. This guy's a game changer. Right? I think one of the most important positions in football besides quarterback is that edge rusher spot, is that 3 technique spot for Nebraska. The ability to get pressure with only 3 or 4 guys rushing is a privilege. If you want to get that, you've got to get guys like Titan Davis who are complete game changers, who are NFL guys. The defensive line needs a complete makeover, in my opinion. Especially losing guys like Ty Robinson. If you can get Titan Davis, man, holy crap. That would be ridiculous. Now, some big name schools have recently offered him. Penn State's early, probably another school in this mix besides Nebraska. You got Bama in here who recently offered him. I think Georgia offered him as well. So some big time schools are involved here. I still like where Nebraska stands. I'd say they're the odds-on favorite. They're going to try to get him on a visit this summer, but you got to continue to build that relationship. Hopefully Terry Brown can get to work. All right, guys. That is my updated list for the top 10 prospects Nebraska is going after. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is there a guy that you want that I did not put in the top 10? Let me know in the comment section. Absolutely want to hear what you have to say. Would you change my rankings up a little bit? What do you think is the most important position that Nebraska needs to go after? Let me know. Is it the D-line, O-line, quarterback, running back? Let me know in the comment section. Absolutely want to hear what you have to say. All right, guys. Put that in the comment section below. Hey, if you made this far in the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go pick your head. Go, Rhule. See you in the next one.